I failed at 2 business ventures. One of those nearly broke me, but those failures ended up teaching me everything I needed to know about who I am and what really matters. In this video, I'll tell the story about 2 failed business ventures and what I learned from them and what you can learn from them as well. My name is Nathan Carlson. I'm a rock climber, an endurance enthusiast, and the founder of Over 40 and Beyond, a platform for men and women over the age of 40 who are ready to rebuild their lives with strength, discipline, and purpose in midlife and beyond. If you like these videos, drop a comment down below, leave a like, hit the subscribe button and tap the notification button so you never miss any of my videos. And if you want to go deeper, check the description down below. It'll take you straight to the email list where every week I send out tips and tricks to help people over the age of 40 rebuild their lives with strength and purpose. Thank you, I appreciate it. So before I tell this story, I need to be honest about what failure actually looked like. I nearly lost my marriage, I nearly lost my sanity, and I nearly lost everything I'd worked for. And by the end of it, I was broken, burnt out, and running on fumes. I lost all my money, completely and utterly, and the bills kept piling up. I distinctly remember standing in my kitchen, looking inside my fridge, and realizing there wasn't a lot left in there. It got to a point that friends were dropping off food. They were being kind, but that made me feel horrible, like I'd let everyone down. My wife, my children, my friends, myself. And the truth was, I did. That's the thing that people don't talk about. When a business fails, it isn't just numbers on a screen. It's your identity, it's your confidence, it's your sense of worth, it's your relationships, it's everything. Now, I don't tell you this to scare you off starting your own business, not at all. Entrepreneurship can be one of the most rewarding things you can ever do. But I am telling you the truth about the potential cost if things go wrong. And statistically speaking, for most people, they will at some point go wrong. So this is not a warning to stop you. It's a reminder to prepare yourself, because business doesn't just test your ideas, it's a test of character. When I started my first business, which was a disability support services company, I thought I was doing something good, something that truly mattered. I wanted to make a difference, I wanted to help people, and I wanted to do it my way. I was fired up, I was full of great ideas, and I was ready to work hard. But what I didn't understand was how heavy it would all become. What most people don't understand about running a business in the care space is that it's not just about care. It's about training, it's about paperwork, it's about red tape, it's about compliance, it's about auditing, all while trying to attract clients into something unknown, which is a scary thing for most people, especially for someone with a disability. I would wake up exhausted and I'd go to bed completely stressed out, and I was living most days in survival mode. That spark I had, that spark of a great idea, that reason for doing it, it began to fade. And when you lose the why, the how can become unbearable. And so I shut it down, which was a very difficult decision for me. And if I'm honest, I felt like a failure. But that decision saved me from losing myself completely. Good intentions do not a good business make. Systems, clarity, and stamina do. And so after that first failure, I promised myself I wouldn't do that to myself again. I would not go through that mess a second time. But you know how this goes. The entrepreneurship itch, it never really goes away once it comes. A little while later, I started a coffee bean business. Now, this one was close to my heart because I've always loved coffee. The smell, the taste, the vibe, all of it. And the craft and the stories behind the industry and where the beans come from. And the stories that are created over a good cup of coffee. And I thought, right, I'll do it differently this time. Just me and a product I believe in. That was it. And to be fair, it started quite well. People loved the concept. Australian grown coffee, grown right here in the land down under. High quality product, ethically sourced. What's not to like? And I poured my heart into it. But slowly, but surely, I started making the same mistakes. Just wearing a different uniform. I spread myself too thin, with too many ideas, too many projects. One day I was building a website, the next I was exporting overseas. Then I was learning about packaging, logistics, email marketing, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, you name it, I was doing it. Instead of mastering one thing, I became extremely mediocre at juggling 10. And as the old saying goes, when you chase 2 rabbits, you catch none. Cash flow got tight, my focus drifted. And eventually, a second time, the dream started to crumble. And when I finally hit the wall, I was gutted. But unlike my first business venture, this time round I wasn't angry. I was more aware. I finally saw the pattern for what it was. My ambition had gathered too much pace. That second failure taught me something so powerful. Sometimes you need to lose the dream to find the lesson. And in that sea of mounting pressure and uncertainty, I almost lost my marriage. I could have lost my children. I lost all my money. I began smoking way too much weed. And it finally ended with a nervous breakdown. There are other reasons why I nearly had a nervous breakdown, which I may go into in future videos, but this was one of those reasons. Crushing weight of failure, of depression, of despair, it almost ended everything for me. But it didn't, which you can learn about in my first video, how I saved my marriage. There are 3 primal fundamental fears that all human beings face. Fear number 1 is the fear of starting something. Most people never start. It's not because they can't, it's because they're waiting for the right time. But here's the truth. It's a lot like having children. There is no perfect time. There's always a reason to wait. More money, more confidence, more research. And just as a side note, more research is another way of saying I'm too scared. The solution is simple. Start small, start messy, and start scared. But just start. Because momentum beats motivation every single time. Think of it this way. Action builds confidence. Waiting builds doubt. Fear number 2. Fear of failure. We often get taught in the society that failure means we're not good enough. But it's not the opposite of success. It's an integral part of success. Failure is tuition. It's the fee you pay for growth. The solution to this is also simple. Treat failure as a feedback mechanism. Instead of asking, why me? Ask, what is this trying to teach me? Or, in simpler language, failure does not end the story. It is the beginning of the next chapter. And fear number 3, fear of public embarrassment. This one's brutal. You know how the number 1 fear is not dying, but public speaking? The same rule applies here. You're scared your friends, family, ex-co-workers will probably laugh or jeer at you if things don't go right and you end up failing. But here's an interesting thing I've learned. Most people are too concerned with their own problems and their own concerns to worry about what you're doing. And the few who do laugh, maybe they weren't your people anyway. Focus on the people you're helping, not the people that are just watching. Remember, courage means doing it anyway, even when it's uncomfortable. There are millions of reasons businesses fail. Here's 3 of them. Number 1, a lack of focus and strategy. Too many directions, not enough discipline. People jump from idea to idea without finishing the first one, and I can promise you I am more guilty of that than most. The solution is simple. 1 product, 1 audience, 1 problem, 1 solution. Do that well, then expand. Reason number 2, poor cash flow management. You can have the greatest idea in known history, but if the cash runs out, you're screwed. The fix? Start small, spend slow, learn fast. Keep your overheads as low as possible and reinvest the profits wisely and carefully. And number 3, no real market fit. Sometimes we build what we want, not what the people want. It's like when I ran my coffee business, if I suddenly offered tea instead of coffee, that would have confused my customers. The fix is simple. Talk to your customers early, find out what their drivers are. Listen more than you speak and adjust accordingly. And now, the top 3 reasons why entrepreneurs lose their focus. Number 1, this is a big one. Shiny object syndrome. New ideas are exciting, they're fun, until they distract from the ideas that actually matter. The solution is simple. Discipline over dopamine. Finish what you start before moving on. Number 2, emotional burnout. You cannot pour from an empty cup. Exhaustion can make you sloppy, reactive, and negative. The fix, once again, is simple. Structure your days, take breaks, work in seasons, because success requires stamina. And number 3, a loss of purpose. As Friedrich Nietzsche once said, a man who has a strong why can bear almost any how. When the why fades, so too does the drive. The fix, once again, is simple, but not necessarily easy. Reconnect with your mission. Ask yourself, why am I really doing this? Remind yourself why you're really doing this. Check in with yourself regularly to make sure you're on the path of why. And then, once again, quoting Nietzsche, you will bear almost any how. And this is what I would have done if I had the chance to do it over again. Number 1, plan failure buffers. Plan what you'll do if things go wrong, because often it will soften the fall. It won't stop the fall, but it will soften it just a little bit. Number 2, keep a journal. Write down your mistakes and write down what those mistakes teach you. The pain gives you data. Number 3, build small wins, because every success rebuilds confidence and gives you that much needed energy to continue. Number 4, choose your circle wisely. Do not surround yourself with dream killers. Surround yourself with people who get it, dream builders. Number 5, protect your consistency. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be there consistently. Number 6, measure backwards. This one might be counterintuitive, but instead of asking, how far do I have to go? Ask yourself, how far have I come? And at some point, the end will be closer than the beginning. And number 7, success is not about being fearless. It's about pushing through the fear. You cannot eliminate fear. That is a hardwired component of the human experience. But what you can do is face it and do it anyway. I have failed at 2 businesses. I've lost money, I've lost sleep, I've lost confidence, I've lost sanity, I've lost hope. I also nearly lost my marriage and my family. But what have I found? I've found strength, I've found clarity, and I've found purpose. Biggest failure is not final. It's simply feedback from life. Those 2 businesses most certainly did not make me rich, but they made me real. And that is something money cannot buy. Success can teach you things, but failure is an infinitely better teacher than success ever can be. So if you're scared to start, if you're scared to fail, and if you're scared someone's watching, do it anyway. Because one day, those fears will become your best stories. And our lives begin and end as stories. So why don't you make it a good one? If this video resonated with you, go ahead and click the subscribe button, hit the notification button so you never miss any of my new videos. And also leave a like and drop a comment below. I promise I read every one. I'd love to hear your stories about where you failed in life and what you learned from it. And if you want to go even deeper, check the link below and go straight to the email list where every week I share tips and tricks on how to rebuild life over the age of 40 with strength, clarity, discipline, and focus. And until next time, stay strong, stay grounded, keep building.